Hello, my name's Emil, and this is the introduction video to a series that I'm going to be starting on this channel. And that series is called Truth and Love. In this series, I'm going to be exploring all of the various online figures that have taught me something and have helped make the bridge into my psyche and have taught me something in life that have taught me some aspect of myself and that have helped me to integrate their teachings into my life, that has basically opened my eyes to light, to truth, and to love. And so without further ado, I'm going to get into a brief summary of the individuals I'm going to be talking about. And my goal is to create a video every day on one of these people as a sort of tribute, a homage, and as well as a sales pitch to spread the, their banner, to wave it in the air, and to um, hopefully convince somebody to watch their videos. Now, the very first person I'd like to talk about is the most recent on the list, and that is Jesse Lee Peterson. Now, if you haven't come across his channel before, he is a black pastor who preaches the truth and the embodiment of the truth in the most non-intellectual, non-pretentious, and peaceful way imaginable. He doesn't get angry. He doesn't get upset. He teaches others how to do the same in all aspects of their life. He teaches you how to forgive. And it's not through mantras or dogma or anything like that. Instead, it's he urges you to return to yourself, to your body, to your breath, and to that deepest self, which is always there. It's very he also explores many ideas and aspects of the psyche in his videos, but the most wonderful part of him is his natural, or his greatest argument is for you to come back to yourself. And so he'll be the first person I want to discuss. The second person on the list is the first one that I came across, and he actually led me to, he bridged the way to many of the others on the list, and that is Stefan Molyneux. Now, Stefan has had interviews with 1,000,001 prominent intellectuals to completely non-prominent random individuals who have just had difficulties in his call-in show, and he's preached philosophy. So he contrasts sharply to Jesse in that he is quite logical, and well, he's not contrast to Jesse because he's logical. They're both very logical, but he differs in Jesse in that he arrives and focuses on the argumentation, the intellect, the logic, and the basically making sense. He goes through common sense. He looks at reality and arguments and derives from various points and various arguments, he stitches them together, webs them together coherently into their logical conclusions. And he is truly wonderful in his work. And I think he might have 1 million subscribers now. I know he's close. I think he's close. But he's truly a wonderful person and has taught me so much about the nature of markets. Uh, he's really educated me more than any teacher in school has, and um, and for that, and just from just seeing his conversations with people, it's really enlightened me. The third person I would like to talk about is someone both Jesse and Stefan have talked to, and that's Elliot Hulse. Now, Elliot Hulse, there's no better way to explain him than he is masculinity, he is body, and he is also mind, and he is logic. He is a man, and he preaches and teaches the the practice of breathing and engaging with your mind and body, and he really believes and espouses the value of our bodies. As human beings, we are physical primarily, and to neglect that, as so many in our society and world have, because of this modern cocoon we're all encased in of luxury and hamburgers and TV. He is a proponent of the physical, the aggression, the healthy expression of aggression in the form of physicality, and how important it is to uh, engage. You can't have a healthy mind if you don't have a healthy body, because the body is the first brain. The mind is just another body part, which perceives and abstracts, but it's very much enveloped by the original, the primal, the physical. And so, yeah, he's another person that I greatly have benefited from being under the influence of. So, yeah, he's number 3. And number 4 is Vox Day. Now, Vox is very different from the first 3 in that the primary benefit that I've received from Vox is kind of like Stefan, an intellectual foray into the just the sheer complexity of everything, and his benefit, being a very intelligent person, he's managed to incorporate many different views um, and fields and ways of looking at the world into he's basically integrated high-level thinking across many domains into a coherent predictive model, as much as his focus has been, because of course every person has an individual can't do everything, but Vox has done a lot. And he's single-handedly created a intellectual movement in a lot of ways. He's stirred up the or consolidated a lot of basic truths by amalgamating and by just having the foresight of all these different high-level perspectives and understanding of everything from economics to uh, like history and politics, and how the wave of rises and falls of civilization, and uh, how they really culminate in these predictive and natural cycles. So he's kind of a sociocultural commentator, and he truly understands many aspects of the human condition and the human social being, and so he's really wonderful as well. The fifth person I would like to talk about is Jordan B. Peterson. Now, despite his kerfuffle with Vox, the previous number 4 on my list, uh, he's helped me a tremendous amount as well by being the bridge that I needed to really give. He was my bridge to Jesse in that what he espouses is the intellectual examination of religion. This is something Stefan and Vox and Jesse and Eliot all do, but what uh, Jordan's particular strength is in exposure of many different kinds of ideas into a single uh, into lectures in which he simply asks questions, and he provides a forum basically for young people like myself to he asks these questions, and he does make some statements and conclusions as well, but his great benefit to me was the uh, the posing of uh, perspectives and various knowledge bases, and also various intellectual traditions and historical um, psycho both from the psychological perspective and the symbolic perspective and the archetypal perspective, and he's melded a lot of these together and simply opened my eyes to the various symbolic and symbolic archetypal views of the world. And while not, he hasn't provided the practical how of like what needs to happen in your psyche as much as someone like Jesse or Eliot has. But like Stefan, he's really, Stefan and Vox, he's unlocked a certain sight and a discernment into this underlying structures which define, it's like Jesse and Eliot have provided the how, and Vox um, Vox um, Vox, Stefan, and Jordan have provided the why. Why should you uh, pursue these things in the first place? Why should you try to figure out how to unlock your psyche and become one with the truth and love? And what are the various aspects on the large scale? Like, why should you do this? Why does it matter? Why is it right? You know, and of course, you know, like someone like Jesse would say, it's already within you. But if you're a atheist, depressed, anxious, weak, gamma, like I was, then you do need that bridge to anything that can help you onto the path of engagement with or like you need that purpose to want to work on yourself and to actually work out that emotion and then all the things that block you. And because for so many, if you're so trapped in your mind, it's kind of a weird paradox. Sometimes you need a little more sometimes the intellect and the intellectual honesty can bring you into like the deeper emotional honesty and and the forgiveness. So and that because that's what happened with me. And so yeah, Jordan, I love Jordan as well. I love all people, but these people are the people that have helped me the most online. So the next person is related to Jordan, and that's Jonathan Peugeot, and he is sort of he's the symbolic archetypal uh, he's an icon carver for churches, and so he delves into symbology of movies of the human condition of psyche. Very smart guy, and he's that brilliant as well. I love him. He does a great job. And then the next person is Elijah Long, and he's a young person like myself, and he is somebody I consider will be very prominent in the future, just because of the conviction and the he's doing exactly what needs to be done, and he's leading in the realm of embodiment of these principles of all these thinkers that I've talked about. Um, he's very much doing what I want to be doing, in that he is the new wave of uh, of men. He's leading the charge, and he's a person I would follow in terms of uh, being a fantastic proponent of how young people, young men especially, can return to the truth. And he integrates. He's sort of doing what I want to be doing. And so yeah, I love him too. Video on him as well. And then I didn't write him on my list originally, but Joe Rogan, I think, deserves a uh, a video, because he is a person who is so open to and he preaches this. Not only is he a person who forgives, but he also is a person who truly truly promotes dialogue, and he's one of the most powerful forces as far as I see, who is really providing the path of uh, communion and a path that will uh, avert disaster by through speech and talking about problems and resolving them and getting to the bottom of things in, um, instead of violence. So he's really fighting against disaster, and so and he's really, there's nobody more effective than him, just in terms of because he's so entertaining, and because he has the reach because of his history, he was on Fear Factor and all this stuff. He is and he's a comedian, and he's now in a position to influence so much. And then the last person actually that, and I'm sure there's more people, but related to Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan recently had a conversation with Alex Jones about how important it is to forgive and provide a path for redemption, how important it is to speak freely. And Alex Jones, he's he's been an inspiration to me. Not because I agree with everything he says, but he understands and embodies and basically he almost creates a sort of performance art in which, because his um, because of his commitment and belief and his skill at expressing the emotion and at providing a stage and sort of um, archetypally can't speak. I don't even remember how to say that word. But he basically symbolically plays out various psyches, and he does it very dramatically, and it makes it very entertaining and inspiring. And um, while his, some of the anger is sort of, it makes for great memes, but truly, I think he's a really good person, and he's trying to, uh, however imperfectly, bring about change and push for it. And Infowars, and he wants the debate. He wants the good. He wants it to come about, and so he has a really interesting way of pursuing it. And he's a person I really think that a lot of people can, because of his fearlessness, he really is an embodiment of it. And deep down, however angry he gets at people, he'll still talk to them. He'll still forgive them. He'll still, have the pat on the back and the handshake at the end of the day. Not with everybody. Not with some of these people who, well, some of the people are criminals that he's going after. But yeah, so I'm going to be working on #1 video, Jesse Peterson first, and it's going to be more. This is sort of just an overview, sort of a architecture for myself, sort of a draft, you could say. Um, but I wanted to put something out there and also and basically commit to this, because this is what I want to do. I want to create videos which are entertaining, that say a lot in a small amount, and so I want it to be a lot more punchy than something like this. Not because I'm trying to. I don't care about the fame or anything, but I do think it's extremely important that these ideas get out there, and so I want to be a proponent and very effectively communicate. Um, I want to basically create marketing for all these people because they helped me so much, and it's not a debt that I feel, because none of these people do it for the wrong reasons. They all are trying to accomplish something. All of them have their quirks and their flaws, but except for Jesse, I haven't really. That guy does not get angry. I haven't seen it, but um, all of them, and Elijah honestly too doesn't. Uh, I haven't seen him get angry, and I really haven't seen Elliot get angry either. All the others, they do get a little bit, I think, consumed by anger at times. They, but the point is, I'm not trying to. Their benefit in providing both the why and the intellectual architecture that will provide the bridge for all these intellectuals into the truth and the light. Um, yeah, all of them are just impossibly uh, crucial in this fight. So yes, and and yeah, that's all I have to say. Yeah, it's gonna be wasn't all. To finish my last point, they're gonna be punchy. They're gonna be marketing. They're gonna be use various forms of media. I'm gonna have to learn how to edit better, and I want it to be a free-form exploration, a movie, a cinematic delving the into the clouds of structural intellect or structural psychic um, truth, and basically present it in a way that will be compelling. Compelling is important because there's no point in doing these things and trying to put yourself out there if um, if you're not aiming for conversion and or benefiting others, and that's what I want to do. So this is sort of a statement of intent more than anything. So, and that's what I want to do. That's what's right to do. That's what I'm doing. So I love you all. I hope anybody who watches this video checks out literally any of them, any of these people, and um, love you.